What's happening, my Jack family? Coach Scott here, JackedAfter40.com. Today's video, we're going to talk about the 7 differences between successful dieters and yo-yo dieters. Difference number 1 is practice. All of us successful dieters have once been yo-yo dieters ourselves. Very rarely, if ever, does someone ever decide, I want to lose weight. Boom. First time they go on a diet, nail it. Absolutely hit their goal on time. No problems whatsoever. That never happens. We have all been yo-yo dieters at one point. We have all struggled at some point to lose weight and achieve our physique goals. Now, a lot of people look at me and assume that fat loss is easy for me. They see how during a mini cut here, I'm like spot on. I'm going to achieve my goal by the date that I set myself, and the results are going to be pretty consistent throughout this process here. It's not that fat loss is any easier for me. It's that I have had a ton of practice to get to this point. I gained fat just as easy as the average man over 40. I have been 50 pounds overweight myself, and it was just as hard for me to lose that fat as it is for the average man over 40. I struggled for almost 10 years to get that weight off. I would say yo-yo dieting. I would do really good for a few days, then fall off the wagon. Do really good for a few days, fall off the wagon. Do really good for maybe a couple of weeks, fall off the wagon. It was a struggle for 10 years. So if you're following along with my January mini cut and you start thinking to yourself that this fat loss process seems a little bit too easy for me, just know that I am setting the same kind of caloric deficit that I would set up for my fellow men over 40 who want to achieve a similar goal as myself. So it requires everything to be the same. But yes, it is easier for me, and it's only easier for me because I have put in the work ahead of time. I have learned from all of my past experiences, every diet that I have gone through in the past. I have learned something new that has carried me forward to the next diet that has gotten better and better, and now it just seems kind of second nature to me whenever I have to do a mini cut. It requires hard work and effort. I would much rather be at maintenance level calories or in a gentle surplus and building muscle, but yes, it is easier for me, and it's not at the same time. Difference number 2 between successful dieters and yo-yo dieters is that yo-yo dieters tend to hop from fad diet to fad diet. They kind of get caught up in the hype of a trendy diet. They want to give it a try. Nothing else has worked for them in the past. Maybe this new magical fad diet is the key to finally losing weight and keeping it off forever. But then they realize they just can't stick to this fad diet either. It's just too much of an overhaul of their overall lifestyle. Just completely changing the foods that they would eat, the timing of their meals. It's just too much of a change all at once. Whereas successful dieters work within their own natural eating tendencies and build upon them, improve upon how they are already eating. So if they already prefer to eat 4 meals per day, they're sticking with that 4 meals per day. They're working with all of their foods, but trying to improve the meals that they are consuming. And even for myself, this past year, I have improved my nutrition. My meal timing, the number of meals I'm consuming has all been the same, but I've really tried to incorporate even more whole natural foods than ever. But I'm also enjoying my cheat days, and that's been the biggest thing that I have learned and evolved through this past even a few years, is that my cheat meals and cheat days aren't as excessive as they were in the past. And that was all part of a fad diet trend where you restrict your calories for 6 days and just pig out for the next day. And I just found that wasn't a healthy approach for myself. So learned along the way and just improved and built upon my own natural eating tendencies. And that's really what a lifestyle approach is all about. So whether I am trying to lose fat, maintain my body weight, or build muscle, the foods I eat are all the same. It's all the same. It's a lifestyle habit-based approach that just seems natural to me. I'm not trying to overhaul my entire lifestyle to fit a diet. The diet fits me. It's what I'm working with all the time and always trying to improve upon all the time. Difference number 3 between successful dieters and yo-yo dieters is that successful dieters have a heightened sense of awareness. They are aware of how much they're consuming, whether they are tracking calories, points, portion sizes. They are very aware of how much they're consuming, and they're very aware of how each meal makes them feel. Are they satisfied each meal? They're very aware of what their hunger cues are, how long they go between meals when they start to feel hungry. They are very aware of when their appetite really starts to increase. Any triggers that may cause them to eat a little bit more food. Maybe a lack of sleep one night causes their appetite to go up the next day. Or maybe they're dehydrated, they didn't drink enough water today. That's when their appetite goes up. Maybe they're aware of, hey, when I'm making dinner, I'm picking at stuff that I wasn't really aware of before. I can't believe how much I'm actually eating while I'm just preparing dinner. Or maybe they're aware that it's late night when they're watching TV with their spouse, that they're start snacking, picking on stuff. So very aware of what their triggers are, what their challenges are, and how to overcome them, and how they feel with certain quality of foods. Certain foods allow them to perform better, be more energized throughout the day, and other foods kind of make them feel sluggish. So a heightened sense of awareness is a key asset that comes along with a successful dieter. Difference number 4 between successful dieters and yo-yo dieters is that successful dieters plan ahead for challenges and setbacks, because you can pretty much guarantee you're gonna face them throughout your fat loss journey. So for example, let's say you have an event coming up this weekend. You're going out for dinner with family and friends. How are you gonna plan and prepare for those temptations? Are you going to reduce your calories throughout the day so you have a lot more room to really enjoy that evening meal out with friends and family? Or are you going to eat normal throughout the day and consider this day as a bit of a refeed, where let's say your caloric target is 2,000 and you decide to consume 2,500 for the day and really enjoy that dinner and feel satisfied throughout the day, but then you're gonna have to make up those 500 calories maybe through the next few days, where you reduce your caloric intake. So instead of 2,000 calories, you're gonna consume 1,800 and 1,700 over the next 2 days, and then that wipes out the 500 calorie surplus. So you gotta know, based on your past experiences, what works best for you, because there's gonna be some people who they eat less all throughout the day to kind of save extra calories for dinner, but then they get to that dinner and they're so freaking hungry that they just can't control their appetite, and they go way above their 2,000 calories for the day. So based on past experiences, plan ahead for these temptations that you're gonna face throughout your challenge. Difference number 5 between successful dieters and yo-yo dieters is that when they do face that challenge and it doesn't go as planned and they overeat, they don't beat themselves up over it. They don't feel guilty about the experience. They simply learn and move on. And that is a huge, powerful lesson, because if you're feeling guilty about the experience and beat yourself up about the experience, dieting is just going to be miserable for you. You're just gonna have all these negative associations. You're gonna think of yourself as a failure, and that's the last thing you want to do. If you learn from that experience, that is a huge success that is going to carry you forward. Difference number 6 between successful dieters and yo-yo dieters is that successful dieters don't allow their lifestyle to beat them down. Again, they have a heightened sense of awareness to how their activities, how their exercises is impacting their diet, how their sleep is impacting their diet. So they're looking at the bigger picture of what is going to help me stick to my diet better. So getting a great night's sleep, getting at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night is going to make it easier for you to stick to your diet, because it's going to keep your appetite under control. Not doing endless amounts of cardio and workout programs that just drain every ounce of your energy, those are going to be things that are going to increase your appetite as well. So really have a heightened sense of awareness of how your overall lifestyle is impacting your nutrition choices and the amount of food that you are consuming. If you are stressed to the nines, that is going to have an impact on your diet as well. So having a heightened sense of awareness and not allowing your lifestyle to beat you down is key to a successful diet. And difference number 7 between successful dieters and yo-yo dieters is that successful dieters make the necessary adjustments based on their body's feedback. For example, if you're dropping, like the first week, you expect to drop a little bit more than normal, even if you have your caloric target set at a point that should allow you to lose just 1% of your body weight per week. If you consistently, week after week, are dropping 4 or 5 pounds, there's some yo-yo dieters like, woohoo, this is exactly what I need. I need an aggressive approach. This is working, but then they hit the wall. They're like, there's no way I can maintain this. And rather than just kind of slowing things down and taking more of a practical, positive approach, they end up just throwing in the towel altogether. Whereas a successful dieter will see, all right, the first week, yeah, maybe I lost 4 pounds the first week. If they continue to lose 3 or 4 pounds when they're supposed to lose 1.5 pounds, they're like, I gotta bump my calories up here. I don't wanna be losing too fast. I wanna make sure I'm maintaining my energy, my strength, so I can perform my best, feel my best, and I don't wanna crash and burn at the end. I wanna make sure I am going to stick with this for the long term. And then on the flip side, maybe you're not losing the amount of weight that you're expecting to lose this week, and you gotta decide to yourself, is it necessary to make an adjustment to your nutrition intake at this point? Now, this is where a lot of yo-yo dieters will think, well, I was supposed to lose 1.5 pounds this week, and I only lost half a pound. I've gotta cut my calories more. I've gotta do more cardio or something like that. They hit the panic button too soon. Whereas a successful dieter will say, you know what, I didn't lose the 1.5 pounds, I only lost half a pound, but you know what, everything was exactly the same as it was last week. My activity level is the same, my sleep is consistent, my nutrition has been consistent, I should really be losing. So instead of making a drastic change, you're like, I'm just going to keep things as is right now and give it another week to see if my body responds. Now, there could be so many different factors that are gonna throw off some of your weigh-ins. So sometimes you just gotta give it a little bit of time, and that's the level of awareness that comes from a successful dieter. After 2 weeks, if you're still not seeing the progress that you're experiencing, then you can start realizing, all right, things have been consistent, still not seeing what I want to see. Let's maybe reduce the calories just a little bit at this point. So making the necessary adjustments only when they're necessary. I hope you enjoyed today's video and found it helpful. If you did, please smash that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. And drop a comment down below too. Let me know which points resonated most with you. If you know a fellow bro who would benefit from watching today's video, do him a favor and share it with them. Before you go, don't forget to download your free guide, Jacked After 40. Hope you have yourself an amazing day. I'll catch you in the next video.